Sorry, we had a problem with the mics. Good evening. It is, welcome to the Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 school committee meeting. These meetings are audio and video recorded. I call this meeting to order. I'll start with introductions to my left.
Karen Times.
Rob Mullen.
Greg Bushman.
Hi, Mike Woodlock, Assistant Superintendent.
Hi, Mike Flanagan, Superintendent.
Becca Stanton.
Danielle Athanas.
Stacy Guido.
Anthony Tenorella.
Dan Hogan, Assistant Business Administrator.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We will go into the public hearing on the proposed FY 2027 school budget. I will seek a motion to suspend regular meeting and open the public hearing on the FY 27 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries.
At this time, Mr. Chair, I'd like to turn to Mr. Hogan for his first run of the public hearing.
Thank you, Dr. Flanagan. Good evening for those watching at home. My name is Dan Hogan. I'm the Assistant Business Administrator. I worked alongside Mr. Messina, our School Business Administrator, and Superintendent Dr. Flanagan to develop the FY 2027 school budget. We began the process by building a level services budget, so that means we've rolled forward all current staffing and contractual obligations, including salary increases, and we carefully reviewed key cost drivers like transportation and utilities based on recent trends. So that initial level services budget totaled $25,222,127. From there, we aligned our work with the town's financial guidance. Based on previous years and conversations with Town Manager Colin Loisel, we understood that a 2.7% increase over last year was our target. Applying that constraint brought the school budget to $24,748,034, which is approximately $474,000 below our level services request. As the budget process continued, and in collaboration with the town manager and the budget planning group, we worked through a broader town-wide deficit. As part of that effort, the schools were asked to further reduce our budget ask by $200,000. That brings us to our final school committee budget request of $24,548,034. And for clarity, the total school expenditure budget is $28,307,557, which includes additional funding sources outside of the school committee budget requests, such as grants, school choice, and circuit breaker funding.
Great synopsis. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dan. Great job.
Thank you.
Anybody have any questions or discussion? Okay. I will seek a motion to close the public hearing and rejoin the regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. I will now seek a motion to approve the FY 2027 budget as presented in the public hearing with a total school expenditure of $28,307,557 and school committee budget of $24,548,034.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. Thank you. I will seek a motion to approve the March 10th, 2026 policy subcommittee minutes, the March 10th, 2026 school committee minutes, and the March 10th, 2026 executive session minutes. The executive session minutes not to be released at this time.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries. Citizen time. I see none. Correspondence, Dr. Flanagan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to point out to everyone's attention here, we've all collectively been invited to the BAPS Charity Walk, and the BAPS Charity Walk is the BAPS Temple. They have chosen the Tyngsborough Public Schools this year as the recipient of the donation for their fundraising activity, which is a nice walk that actually happens at Tyngsborough Elementary School. So it happens on May 30th at 9 o'clock in the morning. So if we can just show up and receive a check and thank them for their effort and for selecting us, this is a great opportunity for us to kind of thank those that are kind of giving back to the community. So that information is available in your drive. And that is all I have for correspondence. And thank you to the Patels for inviting us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Personnel. We have a notification request for a parental leave for M. Gallant, TES teacher.
Welcome to
Share the success. Cameron?
Good evening, everyone. Starting off with some TES highlights from trimester 2. All students from preschool through grade 5 received their report cards on Friday, giving families a clear view of learning progress. Our Scholastic Book Fair was a great success thanks to the PTO and many parent volunteers. The fair not only raised funds for our school, but we were also able to provide new books for every classroom, which students are already enjoying. Student Council Spirit Week is currently underway, helping to build school pride. Our spring after-school enrichment programs are now open, offering students more opportunities to explore interests beyond the regular school day. Last week's middle school March Madness activities concluded with a well-attended dance on Friday night. Spring sports started on March 30th at the middle school. However, several of our 8th grade athletes have already begun competing with the high school teams. The ELA MCAS for 8th grade students will be held next week on April 1st and April 2nd. Congratulations to high school students Ethan Gambino and Mia Popolo for placing 6th at Massachusetts DECA Conference, which qualifies them for the International Conference in Atlanta. Theater took home a number of awards in the semifinals at the METG competition. Congratulations to all. School counselors continue to meet with 9th and 11th graders for course selection for the 2026-2027 school year. Spring sports are underway, and we wish all our teams the best this season. And lastly, congratulations to the class of 2026 as they continue to receive college acceptance letters. Thank you.
Thank you. Subcommittee updates. Superintendent Evaluation Subcommittee met tonight. Dr. Flanagan gave us an update on his goals. For those interested, the updates can be found in the Drive account. Policy Subcommittee. Bert?
We met this evening. We continued discussing the cell phone policy. We will be bringing it as a first reading next meeting.
Thank you. Unfinished business. Teaching and learning update. Mr. Woodluck?
That's me. Thank you. I just wanted to give you an update from each of our schools. Some very different updates, but just some things that are going on that are, I would say I'm particularly proud of that are happening in these schools. So grade level PLCs, professional learning communities at the elementary school. As you see, elevating our foundations block. One of the things that we've identified through our data collection, through MCAS, through our various testing that we do at the elementary school level is that we do have trends in some grade levels where we know that students, we're starting to see those gaps in their reading. So rather than wait till next year, through the PLCs and grade level teams, we've seen our teachers step up and say, let's do something right now with the assistance of administration and some guidance from other organizations. But a solution-oriented approach, growth mindset, and the urgency. I think that's really important because I think what traditionally I've seen in education is like, well, what will we do next year? Over the summer, we'll come up with something and we'll change it. And these groups are saying, like, let's do something right now. And this involved changing their schedule that they had autonomy over, and they created it so that they could get together, sync their schedule so that they could create groups for what students actually needed and get students at different levels, whether it's excelling or needing remediation in some way, an intervention, getting them the help that they need in the Tier 1 environment. And I've spent a lot of time talking about MTSS, but rather than sending a student somewhere else where they would miss what everyone else is getting, changing an established protocol so that they can get students in different groups in the Tier 1 environment during the normal school day. So that doesn't happen very often. So I'm just really proud of some of our teachers at TES for saying, like, we want to change this right now. So pretty cool. At our middle school, we've talked a little bit about some of the data that we've seen and just a philosophy really of, we spend a lot of time appropriately so to get our students that need the most as many supports as we can get them. But then we also have students on the other end who, because they're interested, because they're just at a great place, they're kind of ready to go further. And so we've been talking about that a lot this year. So the middle school admin working with our ELA coach, Katie Leahy, said, like, well, let's look at some of our data and identify if some of our kids are ready to go further. So the data they looked at was our diagnostic testing, our IXL progress, and we're talking about ELA here, MCAS scores, and what they're receiving from teachers in their ELA courses. And when all of those things met like the highest criteria possible, we came up to about 15 to 20 students who clearly weren't being as challenged as maybe they were before. So these students were given the option to participate in a book club rather than focus on IXL testing, which they've already identified they're well above grade level. And 15 of them from grades 7 and 8 decided they'd like to participate in this. So I actually sat in on part of their book club 2 weeks ago. It was the second meeting that they had, and it was pretty impressive. What they were drawing from the structure of the book, what the author's intent was. I didn't read it, and I wasn't up to that, but just listening to them, I was like, I don't think I would have caught up with that. When people talk that really know literature, and they're saying this was the intent of the classics, I didn't get that at all. But it was a good book, but I just didn't see that, right? These kids were seeing those things, right? And so kudos to Mr. Merringer and Mrs. Leahy for organizing that and being a part of it. It's really, really great to see students who just love being a part of that. And the great news is, too, some of them were like, I don't think I want to do a book club. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I like this, So they had the choice. It wasn't like they have to do this, but it was, again, pretty impressive. At the high school, I spoke with Mr. Evans, special education facilitator here at the North Road campus recently, and he was talking about a lot of work that he's been doing with high school, some of the high school teams, with our special educators and our classroom teachers, and specifically, we've been working on a co-teaching model. Co-teaching gets thrown around a lot in education, and what I can tell you is that a lot of things that are, quote, co-teaching are not co-teaching. They're a classroom teacher teaching and a special educator assisting where needed, which is a model of co-teaching, but that's usually what you see. But they've been really working on digging into some of the other different types of co-teaching, and specifically we're talking about Mrs. Tymes and Ms. Casey and Mr. Rogers and Mrs. Kirby, trying to give our kids a lot more options for what that class looks like, making sure that we're utilizing opportunities with two professionals in the room to have intervention opportunities and that higher learning and higher expectation, and when kids can go further. So the models that they've been focusing on is a station rotation, where students go from different stations, may work with different teachers, may work alone or in collaboration with each other. Alternative teaching, where a special educator and the classroom teacher are alternating, leading the classroom. So if you didn't know who they were, you would walk in and you wouldn't know who the special educator is and who the classroom teacher was. And then parallel teaching, where they might both be teaching at the same time with different groups. All right, so among the 6, those are really what they've been focusing on. And so he was just really excited to talk about it, about all of the different ways they're looking at planning, with the special educators knowing specifically what kind of barriers that a typical student may face or a student on an IEP may face, and making sure that we're planning for that proactively rather than when we stumble across it, going back, and which we always will. We'll never plan for everything, but when something happens, then retrofitting for those students to make sure that they can access the curriculum. So I think more than anything, just the open-mindedness of these 4 people that really are excited to work together and plan together and potentially look at things just a little bit differently, which is good for our kids. So I just wanted to give some shout outs to those groups. Good things are happening in our schools, for sure. So very happy about that. And I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Please. To go back to the reading group at the middle school.
Yes.
Was any thought put into possibly inviting students who maybe don't necessarily test extremely well under this type of criteria, but very much enjoy reading and get a lot out of it? I mean, I'd have to admit that I was probably one of those students that didn't test very well in the middle school. But I was probably reading 15, 20 books additional to what was part of the curriculum every year because I loved it so much. And I think it would be really good to be able to identify those types of students and possibly include them in this if it was something they were interested in. And it might be able to spur them to having those conversations with other students, maybe to even be able to increase their ability to perform well on those tests in some way, so.
Yeah, so I guess the original question was thought given to that. I can say, I think this was specific to students that were testing out of the grade level for what we've seen. There are many opportunities for students to engage in book discussions in the typical ELA classes. But this is really just a pilot to see if we can try something. It's going very well. So if there are opportunities to expand that for students during wind block, I'm sure that they will pursue them.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Any other questions?
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Willow. Policy ADF wellness policy, second read. I will seek a motion to approve the ADF school nutrition and physical activity policy as a second read.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Carries 700. Thank you. New business, Dr. Flanagan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to provide a high-level update here of our negotiations with Council 93 from last time. We did receive the written draft. Dan and I went through this to ensure it was accurate, and it truly represents what went down at negotiations a few weeks ago. So basically, these are the highlights. One of the things that we agreed to was establish a joint labor management committee for problem resolution. That's something that's a good practice. It's something we have with our paras and our teachers as well. We come together to try to resolve issues. So that was an easy one. One of the things they requested was to look at our internal hiring practice and really give preferential treatment to seniority. It was something that they were passionate about. We don't have a lot of competition for the jobs. So if that was something that meant a lot to them, we said, yeah, we can certainly meet you there on that. The third additional personal day was something that they've been bargaining for a couple of years. And we were very close to giving into that last time at the request. But we did give in this time, so they would get their third personal day, like other bargaining units. Increase the outside function rate from $40 to $50. This is an interesting one because they actually proposed $45 and we actually counted at $50, that we're going to pay them more for an outside function. The reason being, our top tiered employees make more than $45 an hour, so it hits the school budget every time. So to keep the school budget whole, we want to assess an outside function a higher rate so that it covers the expense of our top level custodians. So that one was a no-brainer for us as well. Effective July 1, this was our request, the longevity language will come out of the contract, so all hires after July 1 will no longer be eligible for longevity to protect the budget going forward. And then the salary scale, which is in your drive right now, again, I think I said it the last meeting we had, we were low. We were comparatively low in the area, so we gave them a decent offer that made them feel whole and valued. And I think one of the things that we've experienced over the years is we have a hard time attracting custodians, maintenance personnel, because we've been so low. So we're hoping that this makes us a little bit more competitive. I even think, Dan, right now, we still have a few open positions at this time.
Yes.
So hopefully this will attract some candidates for us and we can make ourselves whole. So this is the TA. I did have the negotiating team sign off on this. We will send it back. The next step in the process is the union will ratify this on April 19th, and then it'll come back to this group for a final vote. Once we vote on it, we print new contracts, and we're all set to go for the next 3 years. So that's where we are.
Excellent, thank you.
Just the last slide here, we're getting there. We're getting there, that time of year. End of year events, standard practice here. You're invited to all of them. We ask you to come and participate. I think it's my favorite time of the year because we get to celebrate our kids. One big change is pre-prom will happen here at the middle school, which will be a great opportunity to bring the community in and celebrate this. And it'll be nice to have air conditioning, although the elementary CAF has air conditioning. But this is a little bit closer for them as they go to Atkinson Country Club for their prom this year. So that's one big change, but certainly a great time. I think one of the benefits we have this year as well is we were able to purchase a new stage as part of this school, a portable stage. So that allows us to not necessarily put out rain dates. So graduation will happen on June 5th at 7 o'clock. Whether it's inside or outside, we'll have the ability to move the stage on our own. For those of you who don't know, historically, we've rented a stage to the tune of $5,000 to $10,000. So now that we own one, we're going to hold it on that day. Same thing with the grade 5 moving on ceremony. It'll be on that day, inside or outside, we'll make all those determinations. So having that flexibility is certainly helpful. And that's where we are with that. And I did want to make the whole committee know that now that we are officially through the budget process, at our next school committee meeting, Tyngsborough Middle School will be coming to present. And then at the end of April, the elementary school will be coming. And then back in May, the high school will be coming. So we can get back into student presentations now that the budget's over. And that's where we are with that.
Excellent, thank you very much. Finance, Mr. Hogan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For signing of bills, there were 11 warrants, and the warrant numbers, accounts, and amounts are in your drive. There are no signing of payrolls at this time. For your February 2026 financial packet, there are 3 reports in your drive. They are your budget at the end of February, they are the revolving account balances at the end of February, and the student activity accounts at the end of February. And that is all for finance.
Thank you. Student enrollment at TES is 781 students. The middle school has 356. The high school has 428, with 25 out-of-district students for a total of 1,590 students. Okay. School committee discussion. Cam?
I'm all set, thank you.
I have nothing at this time.
Glad to get the budget over. Good update, Dr. Woodward, Mr. Woodward. Have to thank the superintendent, good presentation last night at the tri-board. Hopefully the legislators listened. Thank you.
Nothing from me, thank you.
Dan?
Nothing for me, thank you.
I'm all set, thank you.
I just wanted to say, good luck to all of our spring athletes and coaches. It's kind of nice to come, it's not always nice because sometimes you have other stuff going on in your schedule, but it is nice to come here every afternoon and see all the different teams that are having practice and seeing all the kids get picked up. It's a pretty crowded scene. There's a lot of athletes. It's great to see them out there practicing, and I wish them good luck. Thank you, Mr. Woodlock, for your update. I thought it was really interesting to see at the high school that the teachers and the special ed teachers, like there's a little bit more of maybe some collaborative teaching going on. I think all the students benefit from that because obviously you get different perspectives with the special ed teacher being in there contributing more. So that was great to see. And I'm looking forward to getting the kids back in to present instead of discussing the budget so much, because it's always fun when the elementary school, middle school, and high schoolers come in to present. Sorry, the kids are more excited. And that's all.
I really have enjoyed this year, Mr. Woodlock, seeing during the teaching and learning update all of the innovative things that we're doing as a district. And we've always done them. This isn't new information, but the fact that we're highlighting them this year so that the community, I think, is a little bit more, for the billions of people watching at home. But there's an opportunity for the community to see as well what's going on in our schools. I think that often you just think of schools like they just kind of run in the background day to day, the kids come and the kids go, but we truly live in a district where the teachers and the admin work together to continue to be creative and flexible and really work with the needs of our students where they're at. And I just really appreciate that across all 3 schools, so thank you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Messina and Mr. Hogan for the tremendous work on the budget. It's a ton of work in the background, and Dan, we're fortunate to have you. Thank you personally for all that work that you put into it. And Mr. Messina, wherever you may be at the moment, thank you. I also want to acknowledge the excellent relationship that Dr. Flanagan and Town Manager Loisel have in working together on this budget as well. It's certainly a collaborative effort. It was mentioned last night at the tri-board meeting about the collaboration between our different boards, and it's very unique to Tyngsborough. We're fortunate to have that collaboration. I hope that collaboration continues for years to come, and you're a big part of that collaboration, Dr. Flanagan, so thank you for your efforts there, and thanks to Town Manager Loisel.
Dr. Flanagan?
I just wanted to welcome Senator Howard and Representative Gary. Welcome Senator Howard to the district, and thank Senator Howard and Representative Gary for attending last night's tri-board meeting. You know, it's frustrating that we say the same thing year after year. I'm hoping that there'll be movement this year. They seem receptive. They seem to understand our position and our plight, and I'm hopeful that they will take up the call and address some of the elephants in the room. Chapter 70 is an issue, and we need to do something to address that. So I thank them for being there last night.
I'd like to echo the gratitude to Mr. Messina, Mr. Hogan, Dr. Flanagan. Also like to extend it to the budget subcommittee and that sort of ad hoc committee with us and the school, the select board that got together. This was an especially challenging year. There was, new challenges that we haven't seen in the past, and instead of kind of fighting about it and getting upset, we just came together to solve it. So I was really impressed by all that. I also had the fortune of attending the Grad Night Comedy Show this past weekend. Tremendous comedians. You never know what you're going to get locally. It was nice to see the community come together. It was really amazing to see how many local businesses donated to the cause. Almost any business you can think of in town had some sort of gift there. So it's just really nice to see the community come together to support our kids. We do have a need for executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body as declared by the chair. We will return from the executive session only to adjourn the regular session meeting. This action requires a motion and a roll call vote.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? Mr. Mullin?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor?
In favor?
In favor?
In favor?
In favor.
Have a good night.